Midterm crisis. Why Republicans need Obama's winning playbook. If history is any guide, Republicans could be heading for a significant defeat at the ballot box this November. President Donald Trump's approval ratings have dipped below 40%, with disapproval soaring into the high 50s. Historically, presidents with approval ratings under 50% often see their party perform poorly in midterms, and Trump is far below that benchmark. Congressional Republicans aren't faring much better. The generic ballot currently favors Democrats, and disapproval for Congress has climbed sharply in 2026, reaching into the high 60s. Republicans clearly need a fresh approach, and as surprising as it sounds, one of the most effective models might come from a former adversary, President Barack Obama. He orchestrated one of modern political history's most remarkable turnarounds in 2012. Many forget how precarious Obama's re-election was. The Tea Party had fueled a massive Republican midterm victory in 2010. The recovery from the 2008 financial crisis was agonizingly slow. Global instability was growing, and concerns about government spending were widespread. Throughout 2011, Obama's approval rating often lingered in the low 40s, sometimes even dipping into the high 30s. Obama reversed his fortunes in time for the 2012 election by employing two key strategies that conservatives could adopt in 2026. First, despite widespread economic unhappiness, the Obama administration successfully convinced millions of voters that their financial woes were a direct inheritance from the previous George W. Bush administration. Obama argued America couldn't afford to revert to the failed policies that, in his view, caused the 2008 crash. While this narrative conveniently overlooked some Democratic support for those policies, politically, it worked. This blame the past message became a core pillar of his campaign, even inspiring the slogan forward. Republicans have a similar, clear opportunity today. They inherited one of the worst inflation crises in decades when they took power in 2025. Housing costs and consumer prices skyrocketed under Democratic leadership due to numerous factors, including aggressive spending, lockdowns, stimulus programs, supply chain issues, and the previous administration's focus on costly green energy initiatives. If Republicans want to succeed this November, they must persuade voters that handing power back to the architects of those policies would only worsen the current affordability crisis. The second strategy Republicans could borrow from Obama is related, but distinct. In 2012, Obama acknowledged that the country still had work to do, but he also emphasized that his administration had made tangible progress in recovering from the 2008 housing crisis. He warned that finishing the job would take more time than any of us would like. Republicans could make "let us finish what we started" their central message in 2026. There is no need for Republican candidates to pretend that promised American golden age has already arrived. Voters know groceries, housing, healthcare, and other necessities remain painfully expensive. Any campaign that ignores these realities risks sounding insulting or completely out of touch. A more credible message would acknowledge Americans' ongoing struggles while asserting that free market policies are beginning to work and simply need more time to deliver the desired results. Republican policymakers inherited a crisis so vast that no administration could realistically reverse it in just 2 years. Republicans do have plenty of victories to highlight. Under the Biden administration, there were over 10 million border encounters, not to mention countless undetected illegal entries. Today, the border is more secure and illegal immigration is no longer the severe problem it once was. Under Democrats, the Consumer Price Index, a standard measure of inflation, surged by a staggering 21% from January 2021 to January 2025. Since Republicans took control of the federal government, CPI has increased by just 5%, well within historical norms. Similarly, the average home sales price skyrocketed under Biden, increasing by over $100,000 during his first 2 years. Under Trump and Congressional Republicans, Home prices have barely moved. While housing affordability remains a significant issue, conservative policies have at least halted its worsening. None of these accomplishments guarantee a Republican victory. Elections are rarely won by statistics alone. Voters must believe the country is headed in the right direction and that changing course could undo any progress made. Obama understood this in 2012. He didn't need voters to believe every problem was solved. He needed them to accept three core claims. He inherited a disaster, his policies had produced measurable progress, and his opponents would reverse that progress. Whether voters accept a similar argument from Republicans could well determine control of Congress this November. If Republican candidates continue to act as though public frustration is irrelevant, history suggests they could face a devastating defeat. However, if they study Obama's successful strategy, acknowledge the country's continuing problems, and make a compelling case for finishing the work they began, they might still have time to change the trajectory of the election.